Hey everyone, coming up on Sports Central, we have a star-studded lineup including pro golfer Gerald Richardson, Johnnie Lawson, state championship and state champion basketball coach, and don't forget, a man an unheralded but should be in the NFL Hall of Fame, Mr. Ken Riley. Stick around everybody for this edition of Sports Central. Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, my co-host, Mr. Neal Duncan, and Neal's good to be back again, at least in the studio. We were out at Sun and Fun the last time you and I appeared together.
Yeah, the show live from Sun and Fun, and of course that was presented by Visit Florida, which this segment is presented by Visit Florida. So we want to thank them for sponsoring the segment as well as their partnership at Sun and Fun. Because there was rain on bookends of the event.
Yeah,
but,
Tuesday and Sunday.
Yeah, but the middle part of it, huge attendance numbers.
Attendance up this year. It was just a phenomenal event, and you're talking about Visit Florida, and Ken Lawson, executive director of Visit Florida, saw him the other day, and of course Nelson Mangiovi, the vice president of marketing, and they were very, very pleased with the reports they got back, and we're all made better off here in Polk County because we had an event with more than 250,000 people, and it is the not aerospace, well, sort of aerospace, but aviation central for the country for about 5 days. It was more planes take off and land than anywhere else in the world that same week.
We are blessed to have Visit Florida as the partner, and we're blessed to have great events and great facilities in Polk County, and our first segment is just one of those facilities.
Well, we're surrounded by stars, and we've got some real superstars coming up. Just in addition to our first guest, Mr. Gerald Richardson, pro golfer, but also one of the architects of the 13th annual Central Florida Junior Golf Tour. This is a great event, and Polk County is really blessed with some unbelievably talented young golfers, male and female. So without further ado, Gerald, it's great to see you again, buddy. Hey. You didn't bail me out of a scramble this spring. Usually you do. We get you out there.
Hey, I hadn't got the call. But no, appreciate being here again, and always a blast.
Well, let's talk about the First Tee program and then how that became really the presenting partner of the Central Florida Junior Golf. And I know you also have some exciting news about a non-traditional event going on in the golf course, but let's talk about the First Tee program. Yeah,
this, we're out at the YMCA Par 3, the former Publix Par 3 that Mr. George started back in the day. And but our First Tee program is really the nuts and bolts of what we do. And the First Tee program is really a life skills program that's implemented through the game of golf. It's not a program where we're making great golfers. That happens along the way, but it's more of our life skills program, making great people, and happen to pick up a couple great golfers along the way.
My youngest son went through the program and just loved it. Absolutely loved it. But it teaches them, like you said, a lot of life skills. It teaches them how to play the game, the etiquette. How do you do certain things in a proper manner, and of course integrity is a big part of that.
It's our
no Texas foot wedges.
Yeah, there you go. The 9 core values, and like I say, the life skills program, teaching kids how to meet and greet someone at a young age, and those types of things that's really going to help them down the road, rather than just a matter of how to get a ball in the hole.
Well, we were certainly glad to be a part of the beginning of the Central Florida Junior Golf Tour and that partnership that we've had with you for a long, long time. But you guys have been really running the show, and it's hard to believe, 13th annual Central Florida Golf Tour. Talk about what that is and what it affords these golfers during the summertime to do. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Like I say, this is our 13th year. It's a summer tour, but it's an opportunity for juniors ages 8 to 18. To have the opportunity to go out and play tournament golf. Our tour is more of a developmental tour. We do have some great competition, but mainly the ones who are really starting to get into junior golf, get their feet wet, to understand the difference of tournament golf versus just going out and playing. But this year we visit 10 different courses throughout the county. We start on May 12th there at our facility, the YMCA Par 3, and we go to a lot of great venues: Grasslands, Lone Palm, Southern Dunes, Reunion,
wrap up our season July 28th and 29th at Cleveland Heights for the Junior Citrus Invitational, which this year I believe is the 53rd annual Junior Citrus tournament that's been going on for quite a while. So different age divisions. We have 4 boys, 4 girls age divisions. They play from appropriate yardages. Some divisions are 9 holes, some are 18. It's just a matter of, age and yardage.
You watch some of these kids, and of course they're so flexible, and it's sort of like you, Neal. Just
I was waiting for it. I was absolutely waiting for it.
Flexible like this desk, right? But,
Yeah.
And it's really a lot of fun to watch them. And, they take it seriously, and they really get into it and stuff. But I know their scores match their intensity as well. These kids can play.
Yeah, yeah. We've definitely had some kids. We just put a piece together. Kind of goes by year of kids that have came through our first tee program, our junior tour program, and 53 kids since we've opened have gone on to play collegiate golf, and a lot of those are really, really great golfers. And Colin Kressel was one. He's actually a freshman over at UCF 2 years ago. I think he shot 62 in the county high school tournament over at Providence. Sam Horsfield. Sam participated with us at an early age. I remember Sam, first time he played, he was 8. We played out at Highlands Reserve, didn't realize it was his home track. Played 9 holes, came in, and he was 7 under. And I was like, hold on, this can't be right. And he was 7 under and had a bogey. But he is actually playing out on the PGA Tour these days. Played 2 years at Florida and moved on to professional golf. So, but yes, we've definitely had some high level kids come through our program, and still have a lot of high level kids in our program currently.
Well, not only of them moving on to the collegiate level, but also I think it's neat because we're blessed in Polk County to have some of the amateur tournaments. The Big Four. It used to be the Big Four, then turned into the Big Five. The Youthful Classic or the Polk County Amateur or the 4-ball, and go on and on, to see some of them playing in part of those events as youth, but then as adults.
Yep. And a lot of them have came back, and as you kind of say, obviously most of those events you can't play until you're 18.
Right.
The Polk Am's a little different. You can, but a lot of them come back once they've graduated high school and they're in college, and play in those events and kind of give back, because a lot of those events, the 4-ball, the Polk County Amateur, give back to our organization as kind of the charity for their events, and they represent us well, and our juniors know that and turn around and give back to them.
Okay, here's a lot of people, they watch golf, love to watch the Masters, the PGA Championship Tour or whatever, and we talk a lot in Polk County, discussion around the courses or whatever, about 4-ball. Okay, it's sort of a weird name because you're not using 4 balls. Explain that event. What goes on with 4-ball?
It's like golf. Golf's quirky. There's some quirky rules in there, some terminology that it just doesn't make sense, but it's been around for hundreds of years, and that's the way they establish it. But the term 4-ball is actually it's a 2-person team, and you choose the best score. Each one plays their own ball, and you choose the best score at the end, whoever has the best score. A lot of people hear best ball and they think it's the scramble format where you have 4 people teeing off and you choose the best shot and finish out from there. But it is, you will hear a lot of people say 4-ball and think it's a scramble format. So that is interesting.
Okay, well, I just wanted that sort of clarified, because a lot of people go, I hear about this all the time. Well, Gerald's a pro. Let's have him explain it. He'll do a better job than I will. Well, you're talking about a hole that you can hit every once in a while. And
I see what you're doing there. Well, he's just on it today. Well, so a non-traditional event, we alluded to it earlier, that's going to be coming to First Tee and really has caught on at golf courses, not only in Florida but in the U.S., is foot golf. Talk to us, what is it? When will it start at First Tee, and how can people be involved?
Coming up, we're in the process of installation and those types of things, but kind of happy to announce that the Tropics are partnering with us and bringing foot golf to our facility. Foot golf, it's actually kind of a mixture of soccer and golf. Holes are a little bigger, 21-inch holes on the golf course.
That's kind of what you need, Neal.
rather
As long
than,
as I aim right, it's going to
It's
go
gonna go
left.
left.
Yeah.
There you go. Rather than using golf clubs, obviously it's just a matter of starting the hole with a soccer ball and kicking until your ball gets in the hole. And it's a lot of fun and something we're actually rolling out in May. We'll have kind of a grand opening towards the end of May, but we'll be the only facility in Lakeland that has foot golf, and the only one in the county outside of Reunion Resort out off 27.
But is there par, and is
There
it the
is.
same kind
There
of?
is. It's actually, it'll be a par 30. All 9 holes will have a, all of our golf holes will have a foot golf hole. Now the foot golf hole is actually not on the greens, it's off to the side, some are behind. So the par for our 9-hole foot golf course will actually be 30. So there's 4 that are par 4s, a little bit longer.
Unbelievable.
I'm very interested.
That'd be fun to play.
Oh yeah, maybe we should do our next staff retreat or something out there, and then you do all the talking on camera, but I think I could take you out there.
All righty. Hey, Gerald, thanks a million for joining us. That was fantastic. And if people want to get more information, they want to get their kids involved or whatever, how do they get a hold of you? How do they get more information about the tour?
Yeah, our schedule with the tour is online, ymcawcf.org, and or they can come by our facility there at 1740 George Jenkins Boulevard, or reach out phone, which is 863-577-0236. Fantastic.
Great information, great event. And appreciate you being here as always. So we got to get you back in one or two of our scrambles
There
here
you go.
coming up. Okay, Gerald Richardson, first tee of Lakeland. Well, everybody, we talk about special events and somewhat the core of what we are involved in. And in Polk County, there's no shortage of special events, both sports and arts and culture. And we've got a great arts and culture component here as part of our life and as part of our environment, and we're thankful for that. And one of the best events that we have in Polk County, and it's always fun. I always enjoy going to Mayfair, and Mayfair-by-the-Lake is scheduled for the 12th and 13th, gang, of May, and big deal.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but we have some great footage from last year. Check this out. Mark and Neal, we'll be back right after this.
Mayfair came to be around 1971. It was the Polk Museum of Art, and they were trying to do a fine arts festival on the shores of Lake Morton, and it's grown to what it is today.
Today we have 160 artists here with many different mediums, from sculpture and wood and paintings, oil and acrylic and glass. I mean, we have lots to offer for everyone.
Artists have to apply to the show, and they have to give us 3 examples of their artwork and apply through a online application. They are juried through 5 different jurors around Polk County, and the highest score gets invited to the show. We have a judge that comes around. She is from out of state, and she goes around to each one of the artists' booths and checks out their artwork, and the best of show will be picked along with a lot of other awards.
It's my second year at Mayfair. I do what I call abstract reality. It's a mix of realism, surrealism with some abstract designs. I mostly work in wood, doing wood burning and acrylic. There's a lot of diversity here. I mean, you have everything from contemporary to abstract to experimental art, which I like, and there's different mediums. There's 3D sculptures and clay. I mean, there's everything definitely for everyone.
There are some like sculptures with metal work and a combination of both, and it was really intriguing. It was really neat, and the technique that the gentleman used was really cool.
And I like the jewelry, of course, so there's lots of jewelry here for people to come out and see. There's a lot of good stuff.
I'm a digital artist. All my work is hand-drawn on the computer using a stylus, and then I combine different textures, wood, paper as a background element, incorporate a lot of different design elements, colors, textures. I've been doing digital art for over 10 years, and then just started doing festivals about four years ago. It's definitely a good show, a lot of space between the artists. The people that run the show definitely take care of the artists. It's a very artist-friendly environment for sure.
The kids tent, they are focusing this year on the 5 senses, so they have a lot of crafts that involve the different senses so that everyone can enjoy the crafts. And we've brought it back down to the lake so that the kids can have more accessibility to the art show and the crafts there.
There's many things to do outside of just looking at the art. There's entertainment on the library lawn throughout the day. Saturday and Sunday we're open from 9 to 4. And then we also have a lot of food options for people. And we have Mayfair golf carts to help out.
My favorite part is seeing all the families that come out, especially the children that get to see all the different creative outlets that these artists bring. And it's just a great event to explore different mediums of art.
I enjoy meeting all the artists and seeing all the different artwork and just hearing about the different techniques they use for their work, and it's just neat seeing how it all comes together.
Well, as an artist, I would definitely try it. I mean, it's definitely a show worth doing. And then, I mean, as a spectator, I mean, yeah, definitely come out and support, art that's in your community and I would definitely come out. It's a beautiful setting. Lakeland's a cool city. So.
It's a great art. The setup is great. It's around the loop of the lake, so it's very easy. You cannot miss a tent. You can't miss a booth, and it's a nice walk, around the lake. Yeah.
I think the art community is very large in Lakeland and in Polk County, and I think we have a lot of local artists as well, some from out of state, but from throughout Central Florida, we have such a large group of artists, and just we have a lot of talent. We think, year after year, more and more people see that they can bring their artwork to one location and just get a large crowd in front of them, and it's been a great opportunity for them.
Everybody, welcome back. Segment number 2, Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. Neal Duncan to my right and to the left on your television viewing screen. And Neal?
Spectrum, our sponsor of this segment, but I was looking at that last commercial we had before we came back.
Visit Florida?
We are lucky to live in Florida, aren't we?
I was thinking the same thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that just makes you want to visit Florida.
Yeah.
They do a great job. Just can't say enough about them.
Yep.
But I was talking a little bit earlier during the intro about the talent that we have here in Polk County. Well, there's nobody better, and arguably there's nobody on par with them in the NFL. Should be in the Hall of Fame. I keep saying it. I'll keep saying that until it happens. But a celebrity right here in Polk County by the name of Ken Riley, and he's our guest today. Ken, it's such a pleasure to see you again. It's always a pleasure to see you, but it's great to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Mark and Neal. It's great to be here, and I'm always happy to be with you guys. You guys make a great team.
You need to tell him that more. Especially when we get to the yearly evaluations, right?
Okay.
Well, the question is, being a former NFL superstar, did you watch the draft last night?
Sure did. I thought it was a great draft. I thought the young men conducted themselves very, very well. And I thought it went off. I think there was some surprises as far as overall who's going to be the #1 overall pick. I think Mayfield will do an excellent job. So I think it worked out for everybody. I've been in the draft room, so I know that thing works. So they've done their homework, and that was the #1 choice. I'm sure everybody's pleased.
Yeah, it's always great to get like Ken's insight into this. I mean, he did it. 99.9999% of the population never have had that opportunity.
Well,
they had the opportunity, they didn't have the skill set.
Right. I got the opportunity yesterday on the radio version of Sports Central to ask Ken about what his draft was like. What you said, 6th round, is that correct? When you were drafted, and what the experience was like, and just you told a great story, and I just want to revisit it, if you will, for a minute here.
Well, back then it was 17 rounds, and I was a quarterback, and I was very much surprised that I got an opportunity. They called me the night before. I was at a basketball game, and it came up to me and said, the Bengals wanted to talk to you. So I went into the office, and I talked with a representative from the Bengals. He said, we'll be looking to draft you the next round. We heard that you were going to engineering school. I said, engineering school, that wasn't even my major. But so I said, no. He said, are you interested in playing for the Bengals? I said, yes. So he said, we'll draft you the next round. And I guess the 5th round was a guy named Guy Dennis from Florida, guard. He was drafted in the next round. They drafted me, and I became a Bengal. When they drafted me, they had like wide receiver / quarterback / defensive back / so I was one of the first slashes to come out.
It's pretty neat stuff.
Well, it's sort of like I look at that as a very versatile talent. Like of course we're comparing sports, but Bo Jackson or even Michael Jordan. He wasn't a bad baseball player. He was decent, but that ability to play. Randall Cobb on
Yeah.
the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
You know, played quarterback for Kentucky. He's a fantastic wide receiver.
Well, we just
Yeah.
had one from Polk County that was drafted last night, Derwin James from Florida State, and you were talking about his versatility and
Very
ability.
versatile,
So
out of
again,
Haines City.
so
Yeah.
much talent in Polk
Right.
County. But one of the things that you have coming up is the third annual Celebrity Golf Tournament. This has really turned into a great event. Talk to us about what it is, and I want to get to, and we talked about this last night as well, what your mission is for these scholarships.
Well, it's a great event. It's our third year. Very excited about that. You know, I've been back home for a little while. So why don't you do a golf tournament and raise some money for disadvantaged kids who are not going to higher education, but you know still need a skill. So when they graduate, they have something else to do. So we say, well, why not raise funds for the technical school? Matter of fact, I was at a meeting yesterday at Travis, and on the SAC, they had advisory council, and we talked about these things. They had some young people there, a young lady who was she had about 2 kids or something, but she went on for LPN, and she got a degree, and she said she was doing very, very well. And this is what we are trying to address. Those kids who may not want to go to higher education but need a skill, because once they leave, you still have to make a living for yourself. And I know there's a lot of people who don't have higher education degrees that are doing very, very well. There's plumbers, electricians, air conditioning, you name it. And that's what we are trying to address at this time.
When you get your bill from a plumber or electrician, you know they're doing pretty doggone well. But
Right.
you know, Ken, that was pretty insightful. You know, and even if I could add to that, you know, there's a lot of people that just do not want to sit
Right.
behind a desk
don't
or a
wanna-
computer.
right.
You know, they want to turn a wrench, or they want to take care of somebody like a LPN or an RN or whatever it may be. And that's where their interests are. And when you match up your interests, you know, of course, your interest football, and you were a superstar. But the fact of the matter is, if people enjoy what they're doing for a job, who cares if you're turning a wrench
Exactly.
or if you're pushing a pencil?
Right, I agree with you 100% on that. As long as it's productive and you enjoy what you're doing, it's not too many people have a career that they really enjoy, like you guys. You enjoy coming to work, but when you're in a humdrum job and you know it's a boredom just to get up. So when you're happy and blessed when you can do something that you like, and people with their hands, utilize your hands. Everybody has a skill, so we're happy that we're doing this.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. Well, the date May 4th and May 5th, so it's coming up here in
Next weekend.
Next
yeah,
weekend,
coming
yeah.
up in a second. And you know, you've got some stars coming in.
Oh
too.
yeah, that's one thing that I'm real proud about. Mayor Blunt is coming here this
Oh,
year.
really?
Stalwarts is supposed to be coming. Larry Little. We have about 6 Hall of Famers coming in. A lot of my team. Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman
Oh,
Trophy
yeah.
winner. So we got about 22 celebrities and Hall of Famers coming in. So they enjoy coming, and we support each other. And it makes me feel good when you get that type of Reggie Williams, who was a roommate of mine, who was a Dartmouth graduate who was vice president of Disney World. He's retired now, so he'll be here with us as well.
I haven't seen Reggie in years.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we'd always kid each other or something, but he was always nice.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed working with Reggie. He was with Disney for
A long time. He
yeah.
started at Wide World of Sports there.
Yeah, yeah.
That facilities over there. He was over there. You know, he had knee operations, which made him retire a little bit early. But he's a strong individual. The surgeries he's had on that knee is unbelievable.
Yeah, he wasn't doing, walking as smoothly as he would have liked. But in fact, the last time I saw him, we were in a meeting together, and I think it was over at Disney. Something to do. Oh, it was with the Florida Sports Foundation.
Florida Sports,
yeah,
right.
and anyway, little personal history. But yeah, Reggie.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
Reggie
Glad you
Williams.
brought it up. Yep.
Well, and you mentioned a number of names, and it was pretty neat how down to earth and how accessible they were last year when we were there. So the Friday night event, which is May 4th, starts at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
That is a ticketed event because there is a food component, and there's
$25.
$25, and there's an auction, silent auction.
Silent auction, and it's a good time, meet and greet. And what we do like an introduction. I introduce the guys. They come up and say a few things to the people in the audience, and they are down to earth, and I look forward to it. So.
And then the next day, the 5th,
The 5th,
7 o'clock registration for
Right,
golf,
7
and
to
then
8,
tee
yeah.
off at what time?
8:45.
8:45.
Yeah.
So anybody can get involved.
We want everybody to come. We need
Oh,
them.
okay. Well, it's a-
Anyone and everyone.
well, it's at
Yeah.
Cleveland Heights, too.
Cleveland
you know,
Heights
it's
It's
got
at
three
Cleveland
courses.
Heights Golf
Yep.
Course. You're right. It's open, and we look forward to it. We had a great turnout last year, and we're looking for even larger turnout this year. And the golfers enjoy playing with the celebrities, and it's a great event.
And for more information, it's
It's
KR13.org.
www.kr13.org.
Yeah, so
Go online.
KR13.org.
Yes.
Got it. You're looking at me like you need to say that 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
No, sir, not at all. I just look at this camera over here. Everybody out there knows the answer.
Ha.
But and I also want to thank you, Ken, for what you do outside of this event in the community. Of course, Ken's always there at the Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is going to be on June 12th at the RP Funding Center. And, you know, it's an example of something he doesn't have to be at, but he continues to support it because he appreciates.
You never get any more time.
Yeah, you
It's the
don't get it
one
back.
thing you never
Right.
give back. Or get back, excuse me.
The hard work of our young athletes and our coaches and our college team. So I want to say thank you on behalf of everyone for that, because it's
Well, I always joke that, you know, everybody knows Ken Riley. And wherever I was in Tuskegee, Alabama, and I love Tuskegee, Alabama. It's a cool place. And, you know, you go through, I was like going through the Institute, and then where the Tuskegee Airmen flew out, we, you know, go out to the field. But whenever I'm around Auburn or in that area, I love to go to Tuskegee. And so we were done doing some stuff and down at the campus, and man, am I hungry. So, you know, a couple of us, or 3 of us went into this restaurant. It was Fish something. And I was looking at the walls and all these pictures up there of this NFL guys. The guy's name was John Henry.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to Ken maybe a couple of months or so ago after I got back, and I said, hey, do you know Ken Riley? He said, he lives by us. You know, he lives in our area, in our county. We do some stuff with him. Oh yeah, you know, and it was really neat. And then another guy, you know, comes in, and all these football guys, it's like a fraternity.
It's a fraternity.
And that just never goes away. Right. You know, it's a bond that you never lose.
That's true.
That's what makes it so special, I think, at these celebrity events.
It
Is that
does.
well, and Ken's being humble about the number of individuals that come and support his event, but there's a reason for it, because Ken is going to all those events.
Yeah.
So people are paying it back, and I'm sure they appreciate it as well. So
Well, yeah, but you got to look at the good that it does for the communities that they're in, especially
absolutely.
here. You know, it's an opportunity to have a great time, meet celebrities, and do some good for your community financially and other ways.
Yeah. Well, Ken,
So-
once again, thank you so much.
Thank you
and
both.
Look forward to the event on the 4th and 5th.
Oh, fantastic stuff.
KR13.org.
You got it.
These guys are, you know, they're terrible.
Ken said I was doing a good job.
I like it.
Ken, thanks a million.
Thank you.
Hey, one of the events we're very proud of, in fact, held their national championships for 13 years here in Polk County. It's an organization called Youth Basketball of America, and they are based out of Orlando. Well, recently we held the Youth Basketball of America, the acronym is YBOA, and we held their state championships right here in Polk County. So check this out. We've got some great action from last year's competition. Mark and Neal, we'll be back right after this. Stay tuned, everybody.
Today we are hosting the Florida YBOA Girls State Championship here in the mighty town of Auburndale in Polk County. We are hosted by Polk County Sports Marketing. This is our 3rd year of hosting this event in the Auburndale area. We love the area. It's central to Florida. So teams are able to commute back and forth, those that are within an hour to two drive range. And the facilities are very nice, and the marketing team does a great job of hosting us here. We have approximately 26 teams participating this weekend between the grades of 5th grade to 10th grade. Each team is guaranteed 3 games in pool format, and then all teams come out of pool format into bracket play. Tomorrow we'll have championship games played all day Sunday. Orlando, we have Polk County, we have Tampa, we have Gainesville, we have South Florida teams represented. We even have North Florida teams represented. That's why we like the Polk County location, because it's central to just about everybody. So everybody can, at the max, have a 3 to 5 hour drive range, and it can get here versus my home city is Tallahassee. It would be a much longer drive for teams to come to Tallahassee. They qualify for the state tournament by participating in at least one qualifier that we start hosting these qualifying tournaments between March and June. The last qualifying event was last weekend in St. Petersburg, Florida. Some of these same teams played in St. Pete, and then now they're here to compete in state, and then you have to compete in the state tournament to be eligible to participate in the national tournament. It's always fun and camaraderie, but I was saying at the first game of the day at 8 o'clock, both games are already very competitive. I mean, when you walk into the gym, you thought it was 1,000 people in the gym, it was only like 100. But it was 2 games, closely competitive, but respect for each team. At this juncture of the season, a lot of these teams have seen each other and played each other at least once already. So it's interesting seeing the dynamics and the strategy of the coaches as they make adjustments from one tournament to the next and being competitive.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. In segment number 3, Mark Jackson along with Mr. Neal Duncan. And YBOA, what a great organization. They've done a lot of good. I mean, we've had, I think the biggest year we had over I know we had over 400 teams, playing in a 2-week span.
Well, you have to remember that they really helped level things out in a time where some of our attractions were going through some change in Polk County, and that economic impact was huge. But speaking of partners, Contempo Vacation Homes, the sponsor of this third segment, we appreciate them and what they do, just like YBOA.
Well, when you see, sometimes there's something that you see in a room, or you just can't take your eyes off it.
Is it
our next
is
guest?
Is it really bright, shiny stuff?
It's bright and shiny. And when he sat down next to us, I'm just going, those rings are bigger than Neal's head. I'm going, holy cow.
And he's getting another one.
That is pretty impressive. But anyway, state championship coach. I think you've been to the Final Four like 5 or 6 times or something to that effect. You went to the Nationals this year. And we're going to get to that story. He told us a story off camera, but I think that is it speaks volumes about what their team stands for and what they are all about. So I'm going to try to drag it out of them. You and I might have to join up on that one, but anyway, holy cow. Johnnie Lawson, congratulations. What a great year, 32-1, I believe.
Yes.
Something to that effect, and it just continues to roll. I don't know what you do.
I'll tell you, God has just blessed me. I mean, he's been good to me. And I do want to say I don't take this opportunity for granted. I really appreciate y'all inviting me on the show. I've been able to go to the state championship game 17 times in 20 years and winning altogether 5 state championships, 2 with Coach LaDon, my best friend, and then 3. So, I mean, it's hard. And
How's she doing, by the way?
She's doing great.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
She has got another contract renewed, I think, at FAM. You know, we talk all the time. So
she was nice.
I've just been blessed.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful.
Well, let me ask you, do you kind of give her a little kidding now? Because she won 2 at Winter Haven. Now you've won 3. You say something, don't you?
I can't. It's almost like it's the teacher and the student.
There you go.
I still
you know
say
where to stay away from.
I still say she's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So it's almost like LeBron and Mike. You can't chase a ghost. So I don't try. I just try.
That's a great answer.
I just try to do the best I can do.
Yeah.
Well, recently she was inducted a few years ago into the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame.
So that does it. When you're a Hall of Famer, you know, until I get a green jacket, don't talk.
Well,
to
I just
me.
remember I remember when you used to say there was a fraternity, there was a group of Polk County coaches that you wanted to be at the table with, and you said it after you won your first state championship. Well, now you have 3. Do you run the conversation at that table now?
Well,
or?
you know what? I went from. And I like it to Thanksgiving dinner. I was sitting at the kiddie table, and I never thought, and I was talking to Coach Riley. I think I'm a dreamer, and I continue to dream. And the last time we lost state, I was there. I think we had been 6 times in a row, and the guy asked me, "Well, Johnny, this is 6 times, not even including when you were done. What do you have to do to win?" And my lips started trembling. And I started crying. I never cried. I started crying. And I had one of my kids rubbing my back. Coach, it's going to be okay. In my mind, I want to quit. But then I thought about you have to continue to dream. And so I went from sitting at the kiddie table to just kicking the door down. And I'm at a table by myself. And I never thought it would happen so quick. I kept dreaming, and I said, it's going to be down the road. And now we're just rolling.
You know, Johnny, dreaming is one thing, but, like we were talking to Ken, at some point you've got to put the helmet on, the pads on, and you got to hit somebody, and you got to produce results. You've dreamed and produced results. How does that happen? I mean, what makes it different for you?
It's just a lot. It's just so much work. I never take a vacation. I never take off. The kids are always in the gym working. Sometimes 6 days a week, 12 months out of the year. And it's not about the money, because high school, everybody knows high school coaches don't get paid a lot. But it's not about that. It's about, especially with the girls' sports. I just think, I'm so happy that you guys are talking about it. I just feel that the girls' game, athletes, women, they still don't get the respect that guys do. And I always tell McGriff, I have a lot of respect for guys, but they don't work as hard as girls. I just don't think they do. If you don't believe it, just compare our workouts and our gym time to guys. And they work harder, they work smarter, they watch film because they have to. And with my girls, I don't give them anything. They don't even get a practice uniform until you earn it. You don't get a practice uniform, you don't get a practice jersey. So I make them earn it, and I'm just happy that you guys are really talking about the girls' game.
A lot of people say that the girls' side of things is a pure form of the sport.
It is.
You don't see those girls walking like you see the pros walking.
Right.
You know, and palming the ball and all this. I mean, stuff. They're forced to play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Absolutely, and I just feel that until that happens, I have to keep coaching. I have to keep trying to coach, keep trying to win, because I really want to bring attention to not only girls basketball and women's basketball, just women's sports, period.
Well, and I keep referencing, because it's coming up June 12th at the RP Funding Center, but you look at the All Sports Awards, and it's easy for us to know this because we're living in it each day, and of course you know this, but football might get a lot of publicity. I mean, we're in the state of Florida, and the amount of athletes. But in this county, Polk County basketball, a lot of times if someone wants to win a state championship from around the state, they're probably going to end up having to go through a Polk County team, whether it's boys basketball or girls basketball. Talk about why Winter Haven has been able to be so dominant. Because in boys basketball, you've seen cyclists. Of course, Bartow's been good, and Lakeland, and Haines City, and Winter Haven, and they were at the state championship this year, Final Four this year. Why has Winter Haven been able to elevate so much higher than other programs, even in Polk County?
Well, I really thank God. I've been given this gift to click this switch on, and sometimes it's not good the way I find a way to get these girls to click that dog mentality switch, and I think, and I honestly believe that's what it is. And sometimes it takes some groves running through the groves. It takes some 100-yard on the football field. But whatever it is, I've been able to really dial in and make that switch click. And I think that's what's been good for us. It's that mentality, I think.
Well, talk to me about, you look at the competition and you look at the season, the body of work, but then you move to being invited to the Geico National Championships up in New York. Talk about that experience. And you told us, Mark referred to it earlier.
I want our viewers to hear that story. It's impressive.
Because
it's really impressive.
I think the question I asked you was, I know the result wasn't what you wanted it to be, but what was the experience like? And not knowing I would get the answer that I got.
Yeah.
Tell us what that answer was.
Another dream of mine. I mean, it was to win state, but also to really get us on a national level, which we haven't been yet. So we got there, and of course, Tennessee was #1 in the nation, but their size they were just huge. I thought we turned them over 22 times, but of course, the shooting percentage was horrible, 27% shooting, and they had a lot to do with it because their height. But so we second quarter. I've got my jacket on, so I'm gonna take it off. And I sat down, and my assistant coach kind of leaned over and said, "Hey, you got your shirt on backwards. You might want to put your jacket back on." That was the first thing that kind of said.
That's not where the story is.
Yeah, it doesn't end right. Then I'm like, well, this may not be good. I got my shirt on backwards. But we were pretty tight, so we lose the game, and we were sitting in the airport, and all 14 kids, walk over. They're still upset, and so they're really kind of crying. And I'm like, "Listen, girls, it's over with. We've had a good weekend." They said, "No, Coach, we know why we lost." And I said, "Okay, tell me, why did we lose?" "We forgot to do our Bible verses, and we forgot to pray. We never forget that." So I think I'm instilling some things in them, especially the power of prayer, and so that kind of got me. It kind of blew me away. I didn't even know what to say after that.
And I think probably the score didn't matter after that.
It didn't. Just for them to understand that and know that.
That's a story worth telling.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great story. That'd be a great story for the Hall of Fame and All Sports Awards.
Yeah.
Just, I think it's. I want to hear it again.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
And I think a lot of other people need to hear it again too.
Yeah. And for the first time, I believe, named Coach of the Year.
Dairy farmers.
Dairy farmers,
I've won the Class 8A Dairy Farmers a couple of years, but this is the first time that I've ever won the overall. And it's only been 2 other coaches to do that, and that's been LaDon Gibson and my assistant coach, Billy D. Washington, who coached the boys team at Lake Wales for a few years. Yeah.
That's cool stuff.
Real quick question for you. We were talking about girls sports, boys sports, and this type of stuff. Been an athlete, looks like you could still be an athlete, but are girls tougher to coach or are boys tougher to coach?
I would say boys. I'm a trainer, and I train some boys, but I just, boys are very NBA-ish, looking at YouTube, and the girls. So if we're running a particular drill, maybe we're doing a cross between legs crossover, and the girls know that we're going to do this probably about 150 times. The boys will do it a few times, and now they're looking over because I want to go over here and I want to dunk. So I would definitely say boys, because they don't concentrate on the game anymore. They don't do like a Tracy McGrady where he worked out 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 times a day. Dribble for 2 hours, shoot for 2 hours. Now we want to dribble for 15 minutes and then go play 21 for 3 hours, and that doesn't work. girls know that we have to concentrate on each skill in order to be great.
Interesting. There is a big difference.
Good
Huge
stuff.
difference.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Mr. Duncan,
Yeah.
I mean, you could go on for 2
Oh,
hours.
I could. Well,
it's the same thing with Ken.
And I told Coach I got the honor of playing Indiana high school basketball. So I love basketball.
He's a Hoosier.
I was a Hoosier, that's right. But that's just a whole different thing up there, the way they do things. But
And I do want to say real quick to Mark before I want to also say May the 11th, we're having our banquet, which will be at 6 o'clock at the pool room. And Otis Birdsong will be our keynote speaker. It'll be at Chain of Lakes. 6 o'clock is $20 per ticket. That'll go back to the program. Okay. And then May the 12th, we're having our huge celebration, our parade, championship parade, nice. Which will start from the city at City Hall at 11 a.m. Yeah. It'll end up at Jack Dietrich Stadium for a 12 o'clock program. And I just want to say to Mark, he supported me even when people didn't even know me, even when I was with the Trace McGrady Foundation. And Mark, I've never got a chance to tell you that because I don't see you anymore, but I just want to tell you thank you. You're the voice. And what you've done with sports marketing, man, the sports in this county is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
me and Tracy was talking about that last week.
Well, another acquaintance friend of mine is Nat Birdsong, and commissioner of the city of Winter Haven, and he has done remarkable things for sports and for the city. And you know, you guys just have a machine over there. We appreciate you coming in today.
Thank
we
you.
told Ken the same thing. You know, especially guys like stars like yourself. You know, you don't get that time back, and so we appreciate the time you're sitting here talking with us and our viewers. So,
thank you,
Johnny.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Absolutely. Well, everyone, one of my favorite parts of the show, each and every time, is our athlete spotlight. I always call it up close and personal. Our producer, Mark Cuddy, is never going to change that, I don't think. I might have to form a petition or start marching outside with a sign or something like that. But it is up close and personal, but I have to say it correctly because I'm going to get the hook if I don't. This is the athlete spotlight. It is Bobby Ormsby. He is a cross-country runner from Florida Southern College. This is a great story. Check this out. We'll be back right after this.
I was playing soccer and it was my 6th grade year, and for tryouts the first thing you do is you run a mile, and I finished first in the mile, and the soccer coach is also the track coach, so he's like, well, I'm gonna put you on the soccer team, but I need you to come out for a track as well. So, and that's when I fell in love with running. I mean, it's weird. Most people don't enjoy running, but it's like a stress reliever for me. If I go out and I run 10 miles, it just clears my head. I don't have to think about anything. I just focus on the run. Once you toe the line and that gun goes off, it's like you don't think about anything. You almost black out during a race. I don't remember certain parts of a race because you're just so focused. Yeah, you don't realize honestly how much pain you're in until you finish. When you stop, and that's when you realize, and because of the heat of Florida, it takes a lot out of you. I faced a few obstacles in high school. I got injured and didn't compete where I wanted to compete my sophomore year. And I got really frustrated with running, and that rolled over into track my junior year. But luckily, with my family and coaches, they helped get me through, and then I continued. I ended up finishing well in high school. And then also in college, injuries, another injury kind of set me back. I still didn't finish where I wanted to finish, but I can look back and say I'm happy with my career. Well, you gotta be a little crazy, because it is hard to get up at 5 a.m. every morning and run. Very hard on the body. There's a lot of mornings where that alarm goes off at 5 and I don't want to get out of bed, but you do. So you could say we're a little insane. I'm most proud of our conference win this year. We had so many setbacks this season with injuries, sickness, and Irma. Somehow we came together as a team and we got focused and we pulled off that conference championship. So that's what I'm most proud of my team there, because we deserved it. Favorite memories would have to be my trips to the NCAA championships my freshman, sophomore, and junior year with the team. Just because when you go there, as a team, it's completely different, especially sophomore year when it was the D2 festival. So there's multiple sports there at a national championship. There's so many events. You meet so many people. It's just a blast. I made really close friends through running, and those will last me a lifetime. I'm actually going to be going to Life University in just outside of Atlanta, chiropractic school. Oh yes, I will continue to run, not competitively, but I will still run a few times a week, stay in shape.
Everybody, and welcome back to the fourth and final segment of Sports Central. If you're just joining us, shame on you. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Mr. Neal Duncan.
Yeah, the fourth and final segment, brought to us by Holiday Inn Winter Haven, great partner of tourism and sports marketing.
They've been slammed.
Oh.
But the service is good. You know, the rooms are clean. Yep. You know, it's just a great property. We're glad to have them on board. Well, Neal, it's like it's never stopped from January 1st to right now, and it's not going to stop for a while. You know, we've got the Homeschool World Series coming up. April 27th, actually that starts today.
Yeah, they're coming in, and I think their opening ceremonies
are
Monday.
Monday, and that'll be at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex in Auburndale. Make sure you check that out. You go to centralfloridasports.com or visit centralflorida.org.
Yeah, we also got Top Gun coming in May 1st through the 6th. We, of course, already talked about the Ken Riley Celebrity Golf Classic. That is May 4th and 5th at Cleveland Heights. You definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, and you can go to clevelandheightsgolf.com for more information about Ken's event. And don't miss it. They have 22 celebrities, NFL celebrities they're bringing in.
We had a great package on MIDFLORIDA-by-the-Lake, but we want to remind everybody.
12th to the 13th.
The 12th to the 13th.
Of May. Yeah, that's a great family event. It's what make, you know, it's why we live in Polk. One of the reasons we live in Polk County. Great folks over there at Mayfaire-by-the-Lake.
Yeah,
Polk Museum of Art.
Ripping through Miss Florida pageant. That'll be June 25th through June 30th. We also want to mention that the Florida Tarpons will be back in action at home at the RP Funding Center. That'll be May 6th at 3:05 versus the Austin Wild. We got some great graphic there showing all the upcoming dates. We also want to mention the Lakeland Flying Tigers.
You want to know one of the best buffets in town?
34 Club.
34 Club. Flying Tigers, it's fantastic. Have a great time there. And of course, you're dressed in tiger orange.
I'm sporting the Tiger colors, but the 27th, 28th, 29th, and then 3rd, 7th, 8th, and 9th there at Publix Field at Joker Marston Stadium. You definitely want to check that out. Family friendly, so many great areas after the renovation. Pretty cool place. Yeah,
well, don't forget our sister show on radio, 1430 AM, 96.7 WLK FM. And that is Hall Communications. Great show, and that's on Thursday night, 5 to 6. Don't forget that one. Neal, we got some people to thank.
Yeah, we want to thank Visit Florida, again, a great partner of Sun and Fun, which just happened, Hampton Inn Winter Haven, Hollywood Signs, Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill, and Office Furniture Depot. And some of those partners are also helping us with the June 12th Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
How many people are you inducting this year?
8.
8 people?
Yes.
We're not going to run out, are we?
And we're not going to run out, no. And I think we have 2 or 3 at the contributor level this year. So they weren't necessarily athletes excelling in Polk County, but these were individuals that were giving back. They were giving the resources to some of the programs, to some of the athletes to make them successful. So they're going to go in. And we also have Gene Engel and Ron Morrow, who were kind of, Coach was thanking you. And in the beginning, they were kind of architects that got the whole thing and then made a great decision bringing Mark Jackson on.
I know what to say. I guess we just close the show. Isn't that the way you do that? Hey, our next live show, everybody. Make sure you watch this again each and every day on PGTV. Great production crew, great engineers. We certainly appreciate them. Our next live show, May 11th. This is Mark Jackson for Neal Duncan. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you again next time.